Now today, in this episode, we're talking about how to remove negative labels. So before we get into how to let go of negative labels, let's consider what negative labels are. You see, negative labels are the things that we do in our mind which actually label something, which then means we develop a certain association. At the end of the day, labels are things we put on ourselves, the kind of labels we put on ourselves, where it be I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, or it could be about external things, it could be about money, it could be about health, relationships, it could be about your potential in your career. Those labels we put on ourselves are judgments. They are things which limit us, because as soon as we put a label on it, we buy into that label. We think that is what it is. So we've got to understand that the labels that we have are a construct. It's a decision that we've made, or you could say a conclusion we've come up with, usually based on our past experience. You see, if you've gone through so many events and only getting the one outcome, of course, you're more likely to come up with a label that life is going to always be like that in that situation. I know when I was younger, I used to just have the label that I am a blusher. I am anxious and I'm worried and I don't like talking to people in public. That was my own personal label. But I had other labels as well, and that was about my health, about not being able to lose weight, about my relationships. These labels that we put on ourselves are based on, as I said, the past experience that we go through, and that could be significant emotional events, which then comes out with a conclusion of how life is, or how we are, or what we are. But are we really those labels? In reality, these labels we have were not always there. Maybe when you came out the womb, you didn't have a label of not being good enough. Maybe when you came out the womb, or when you were 1 year old, you didn't have a label about about money, or about how relationships should be, or how the career should be, how you maybe should just have to stick to a 9 to 5 and give up on your purpose and your passion. You see, those labels happen as we get older. Now, they can, of course, happen at a young age, because if you model someone at a young age, and that could be your family, it could be, say, for example, your parents, your siblings, your friends, it could even be viewing certain experiences as your younger self, you will come to certain conclusions based on those you are surrounding yourself with at a young age. And of course, you don't have a choice of who you surround yourself with. But does that mean we have to actually live by those limitations? Does that mean we have to give life to them and continue to hold that label around your neck? Of course not. Any label which has been created can always be removed. In fact, my belief is, as quickly as a label can come into existence, as quickly it can begin to disappear and let go. And for more importantly, to create a new open way of being that consistently provides the results that you desire. So these labels we put around our neck on who we should be, or what we should do, or how life is, are just simply conscious or unconscious decisions, because I'm sure you didn't consciously choose to feel not good enough or not worthy, or to have that relationship about your health, career, finances, or relationships in themselves. Although they can happen consciously, more often than not, they happen beneath the surface. So our unconscious mind is really the thing which runs our belief systems. It runs our values, and these beliefs and values are really labels we put on ourselves at an unconscious level. So how can we let go of them? You see, I think to me it's about allowing the unconscious mind to be conscious. And by that I mean we need to get the unconscious mind to realize that this label that we have is not truly who we are. That is not all we are. It's just a decision that we've made in the past that we've acted out consistently to seem like a habit, to seem like it is us. But is it really us? Of course not. Because you are just pure potential. You are energy. You are full of alternative decisions and reactions and belief systems and feelings and infinite in resources. So we have to just realize that that decision, by the nature of being conscious, that decision may not be ours because maybe we modeled our father, our mother, our sibling, our friends, even as we got older, maybe what society thinks we should be like. So the society's labels they push upon us. Or maybe the economy. Maybe because of the economy, we now have a certain label about money and what you're able to do with that. You see, I think if we start together to be conscious of where these labels have come from, are they really ours? And what other alternatives can we come up with which will actually give us more safety and security and a more of a happy life? Because we have to understand that the labels that we have aren't there for negative reasons. Usually we carry out and we act out these labels and not being good enough, not being worthy, not feeling capable, fear of failure, fear of success. We carry them out because at a deeper core part of you thinks there's a safer way of being in this world. So we don't go and do the things that we want because we might have that fear of failure. We don't go for that relationship because what if we do, we might look silly. We might get hurt. So it's easier to just go back and be safe. So these labels that we have about ourselves are simply limitations which were created through past experience or significant emotional events, or just simply absorbing the external world as what people say to us as evidence, as a truth. But when we wake up and realize that that belief system doesn't have to be true, that label we put on ourselves doesn't have to be what reality is, we will start to see a new truth. And if you think about it, if you consider one of your labels right now, maybe it could be the belief of not being good enough. Maybe it's about money or your health or your relationships or absolutely anything. Choose one. And as you choose one, what I'd like you to do is think of an example in yourself or in the world where that label cannot be true. So if you said that money is the root of all evil, you look for examples in a world where money has created help for others. Where money has been like entrepreneurs who have got lots of money and they start to create their own foundations or they start to give to charity, which then in turn has to have an effect on that belief system, that label, that money is the root of all evil. Because how can it be that if our examples counter to it? If you've got belief systems of not being good enough, you look for examples of where you have. And if you really struggle to consciously think about it, look through the eyes of your loved ones and see what they would see. Would they see any things that you've done in your life which is absolutely worthy and good enough? I'm sure there is. And it might be hard at first. And like I always say, it's not going to be always easy. But once you start to take responsibility and to understand that the labels we have are conscious and unconscious constructions that we can choose to let go of or to remove or to learn from and to grow and to evolve from, things will start to shift. The tide will shift. You will start to change your energy. You will start to change your focus from one of being stuck, from one of no hope, to one what is unstuck, which is free and open, which is full of optimism as to where you're heading and where you're going. So you have to make that decision. Is this label that I have for myself my own? If it is my own, I have the opportunity to let it go. If it's not my own and I modeled it, then it's no longer mine to have. It's not my energy to have. So now's the time to look for alternative examples where that label can no longer hold as much strength because there are alternatives proving to the contrary. As you begin to do this, your brain will start to do it far more naturally. It will look unconsciously for the alternative rather than the label itself. And you can ask yourself, what can I learn from this? The once learned will allow me to be safer, more secure, more abundant, and more happy. Are there alternative belief systems which actually allow me to grow as a person? Are there alternative labels? I mean, I don't really like labels because any label we put in the world is a judgment, is a limitation. But at the very least, are there alternative ones which will allow you to grow? Because whatever you think you are always more powerful than that. You are always more joyful from that. But what we've been doing, we've been putting our light, our flash torch, or our flashlight, our torch, we say different things in England. We say torches in England, but flashlight in America. If we're putting that flashlight or torch onto only the limitation, what happens? You actually shine up more of the limitation. But if you switch your focus and put that flashlight or that light, that torch onto the alternatives, you will start to bring up more alternatives. You will seek out more. You will actually look for more opportunities. You will look for learnings. You will look for growth. And that is when, as I said, the tide will change. The day that you start to consider the alternative, where you consider, is that belief really mine? Is there other beliefs in the world which will allow me to be more fulfilled and stronger and more capable in every way? That, my friend, is exactly where change starts to happen. It all starts with us, to change your focus, the understanding of being more conscious about those unconscious labels, and to realize things can change. It may take time. That's okay, because time gives us an opportunity to grow. It's not about just always flicking the switch, although it can happen. Sometimes it's about putting in the foundations first. When you start to bed those foundations, the new flourishing flowers will start to grow in your life. You will actually start to bloom in many areas. When you do that, things will start to happen. The momentum will start to grow. You will start to build more character, and you will start to see more wonderful qualities about yourself and how you can bring that into the world, bring that into your health, your relationships, your money, your career, in every way. We just have to be really conscious of all our labels of, are they ours? Are they someone else's? Are there alternatives? What can I learn from this? When you do that, things will change. So I hope you enjoyed that, had the most wonderful day, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. Many thanks and goodbye. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll be able to see it right here, or somewhere over this direction, I think. For all I know, it could be this direction or up here, but wherever you see the location, go ahead and press subscribe. And that means you'll get updated on every new video I actually do. I don't let everyone know about all these videos because I really want to be able to give you the first chance of getting them as and when they come out, because it takes time for me to put them in different areas, but this is where you get them automatically. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel and you'll get far more videos more consistently than ever before. Have a great day.